Greetings, my lovelies. Hi, it's Emmy. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be testing this recipe. And this is a recipe for ketchup cake. This beautiful cake contains Heinz ketchup, and it celebrates 100 years of Heinz ketchup being in Canada. When I heard about this recipe that contains every toddler's favorite condiment, I knew I had to make it. All right, so come along with me and I shall show you what I did to get to this lovely state. Okay, so in one bowl, we're going to combine our dry ingredients. We're going to add our flour, our baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. Mix this well and set this aside. So in another bowl, we're going to combine our wet ingredients. We're going to combine the ketchup and the water and 2 tablespoons of red food coloring. So in another bowl, we're going to beat together some softened butter and our brown sugar. Beat this until it's nice and creamy. Next, we're going to add our 2 eggs and beat this well. So then we're going to increase the speed to medium-high and beat for 1 minute. To the butter and sugar and egg mixture, we're going to add our flour and our ketchup. Beat this all up in low, making sure to scrape the sides of the bowl down as you go along. Once we got that all incorporated, we're going to beat this for 1 minute on high speed. And then we're going to take the 2 pans that we prepared earlier and divide the batter between the 2 pans. And we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. Then let this cool for about 15 minutes before inverting onto a rack and allowing to cool completely before we frost. So while the cakes are cooling, we can go ahead and make our frosting. This is a cream cheese buttercream. So in a large bowl, we're going to add our room temperature cream cheese, room temperature butter, and our vanilla. And beat this until it's nice and smooth. Now we're going to gradually add 4 cups of powdered sugar. Once all the sugar is incorporated into the butter and cream, we're going to beat this on a high for 2 minutes until the frosting is nice and light and fluffy. So take one of your cool cakes, place it onto your dish. So here's a little tip. I like to put little squares of parchment paper or wax paper beneath my cake, and then after I'm done frosting, I can pull them out and I can have a nice and tidy plate. And then we're going to take about 1/3 of the frosting, place that on top of the cake and smooth that out evenly, and put our next layer on top. And then we're going to use the remaining frosting to frost the top and the sides of our cake. And there you have it, a gorgeous ketchup cake. So I hate to cut into it because it looks so pretty, but I think it's going to be gorgeous inside. So let's go ahead and cut it. This little turn. Look at that. Beautiful. My goodness. Look at this cake. It is so red. Alrighty, here it is. And it's beautiful with all that red food coloring and that beautiful white frosting. It smells great. It smells like a spice cake. I wonder if you can taste any of the ketchup. Let's find out. It doesn't surprise me that there's spice in this cake because I found out that the secret ingredient that makes kind of tomato ketchup taste like tomato ketchup is actually a little bit of clove oil. Clove would go naturally with ingredients like nutmeg and cinnamon. All right, let's give this thing of beauty a taste. It cuts nicely. Looks pretty moist. All right, let's give this red cake a taste. Itadakimasu. And that is a very good spice cake. Nice and moist, and it goes really, really well with the cream cheese frosting. It has that nice richness and butteriness. It goes really well with the spices in there. And I cannot detect any flavor of ketchup whatsoever. Blindfolded, I would never know that this contains ketchup, and I think even if I were to see the cake, I might surmise that this might be ketchup because of the red alarming color, but I would never know that there's ketchup in here. It's delicious. It reminds me a lot of a carrot cake in terms of that classic pairing of cream cheese and spice, and has a similar kind of moistness to it as well. Of course, it doesn't contain any carrots, but it's sweet, and in terms of overall flavor, very similar to a carrot cake. This is an excellent cake, and I think it would be really fun to bring to a party and have people guess, what is the secret ingredient? There you go, Heinz Ketchup Cake. Odd, but delicious. If you want to make this cake, go to emmymadeinjapan.com to find the recipe amounts, and in the description, I shall put the link to the original recipe. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Do let me know in the comments if there is a recipe that you'd like me to test or try out, or have you ever made a ketchup cake before? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to share this video with your friends, follow me on social media, subscribe, and I shall see you in my next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye!